Times are tough. Economy's not doing good. Politicians are not doing good. I talked about politicians a couple of weeks ago, what kind of bums they are. But let me tell you this, I'm going to give you the power. Today, you're going to get the power.
This government of the United States, which we all live and work under, was formed in 1789 by something called the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution of the United States gives control of the laws to three groups of people. There's the executive branch, which is the president. There's the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court. And then there's this legislative branch, which is Congress and the Senate. 434 congressmen and 100 senators. And on top of all of that, the Congress, the 434 individuals, have power of the purse. They control all the money. Now, everybody's saying this country is broke. We are not broke. We took in $2.1 trillion in tax revenue last year. Now, we spent $4.3 trillion, but we took in several $trillion. Well, who controls where that money goes and how much we spend? It's Congress. Now, the Constitution of the United States is what the Congress bases their choices on. The Constitution is a document that's dynamic. We can change it, but it's pretty stable. The Constitution has been amended 27 times in the past 200 some odd years. Although a couple of hundred suggestions to amend it come up every year. Total of over 11,000 suggestions, but only 27 have passed. So it's a pretty stable environment that they work under. Now, of all of these people, the House of Representatives controls all of the spending. The Federal Reserve, they created it. Congress created it. They could do away with it on a whim. The President signs the budget that the Congress approves. But he could veto it, but guess what? They can override his veto. The Supreme Court can tell Congress that that budget is unconstitutional. It goes against the laws. But it has to go against the laws. Now, everything is an opinion, but there has to be a reasonably good cause for the Supreme Court to do that. As long as Congress pays attention to the Constitution, they can spend the money however they want. Well, what does this all mean to us? We've got 434 people up there who are interested in job security. Are you interested in job security? I am. Yeah. So are they. But what's your motivation? Don't you have good motives for your job security? Shouldn't Congress have good motives? You know, a lobbyist can give a congressman $1 million for his re-election and tell him, this is how I want you to vote. Does a congressman have to do that? No, he doesn't. He can do that, and we suspect quite often they do. But he doesn't have to do that. That is the point. The congressman can get up there and decide what to spend the money on and how much to spend. So, 434 people in this country make all of those decisions on spending. Shouldn't they make good decisions? Do they make good decisions? No. We don't think so, do we? No. Not all of the time. There's a lot of opinion in that. Now, this country has over 300 million people in its population. Do you think out of 300 million people we could find 434 adults who are reasonably decent, honest Americans and have them decide for us how to spend that money? Do you think we could do that? I'm telling you, you can. The last time I voted in a primary, I walked into the gymnasium. There was nobody in there. I was the one voter voting in the primary, which is where you choose to vote for who you vote for in the general election. There was nobody there choosing who to vote for, except me. And then in the general election, when I went in and voted, there was more people there. Oh yeah, you know, we heard about this one. And they all came out and complained and said, boy, what a miserable choice. You know, bum number one or bum number two. And I asked them, where were you last spring during the primaries? Well, I don't know. I didn't hear about that one. Well, folks, you do hear about it. And you need to do it. Now, most of this information is based on an editorial written by a gentleman named Charlie Reese, who just retired. He worked for the Orlando Star-Sentinel. And his general idea of this editorial was that Congress, since they have all of the power to decide how to spend that money, should be held accountable for how they spend that money. Now, there's a fact that something like 90% of all congressmen are reelected year after year after year. The incumbent, the guy whose name is at the top, always gets reelected. Why? Because we like him? You just told me you don't. Why do they get elected? Because we're lazy. Oh yeah, just pick the top guy. Or that name sounds familiar. Yeah, let's vote for that guy. I tell you folks, I'm giving you the power today to go out and choose those couple hundred guys. Choose carefully, or be one of them. By golly, be one of them. What's stopping you? Well, is it money? Well, go talk to some lobbyists. Or maybe just talk to your friends. But go out and choose carefully. And what I'm saying is, if we do choose honorable gentlemen, we may not reach perfection, but we'll go in a direction that we can all agree on and we all like. Thank you very much.